Greetings. Nobody has an opinion. Hey, I'm back. And I have a question. Are there any men left in this world? Real men. The second question would be, have you ever heard the statement that there are two sides to a coin? So here's what I'm talking about. Talking about perspective on life. All right? Contrary to all the propaganda going on, there are still only two sexes. You have men and you have women. And the sun is right there in our eyes. Anyway, you got men and you got women, and that's it. All right? And women and men, they see the world a little bit different. Each one views it in a different way. They have different perspectives on life. If you are raising a child and you are a single mother and you are raising that child, if you do not find a way to put a strong male presence into that child's life, then whether you want that child to or not, they will go find a strong male presence all on their own. Quite possibly, it won't be the presence that you desire because you have no control. If you're a single father raising a child, if you don't go and actively put a strong female presence into that child's life, then the child will go and find their own strong female presence. And once again, if it's out of your control, then you have no say. Now, I'm not against women. I'm very much for women being very powerful and strong and being able to do anything and everything they set their mind to do. I think it's great. What I am for is men being men. And that is something that has been lacking for a very long time. Media today does everything it can to discourage men from being men. But it's not just today. All right? And when I talk about media, I'm not talking about the news. I'm not talking about only the news. I'm not talking about any one source. I'm talking overall. Movies, television, news, print, whether it's magazines or newspapers. No matter what you want to say it is. No matter how you see it. Okay? All of it has been, in some kind of fashion, against a man being a man for a very long time. Oh, sure, it's funny when a comedian talks about the fact that if you want to get if you got a guy and he's a comedian, he talks about the fact that if you want to get out of housework, all you got to do is just go out there and mess it up in some kind of way, and then your wife will come around and shoo you away, and you won't ever have to worry about doing housework again. Oh, that's a funny joke, and you know, it's kind of comical at the time, but you know, do we really want to be people who can't take care of themselves? You know, why? What's wrong with being independent? What's wrong with being a person who knows how to not only clean up the house, do the dishes, and cook the food, but can wash their clothes and iron their clothes and make themselves look presentable? What's wrong with a man being able to be a man? Way back a couple of centuries, when this country was being founded, so people who founded this country usually were men and women who had a family, who went out into the wild unknown and made a home collectively together. They didn't sit around and divvy up the workload. They didn't say, hey, you do this and I'll do that. No. They collectively worked together to get things taken care of. Together, they decided, hey, we got to make a home here. We've got to establish some piece of land, build something to live in. We got to get some food together. If it involves hunting, raising crops, the whole bit. They worked together. Well, it's been a couple of centuries, and men and women don't have to go out into the wild unknown and establish a home and build a place and figure out where they're going to get their food. They go to their local grocery store and they pull out their debit card or whatever, and they pay for it, and there you go. Food is taken care of. But a man still has to be a man. Whether a woman wants that man to be a man doesn't matter. And if we as a society continue to press down to eliminate a man being a man, then we are always going to have the problems that we are currently seeing right now. All right? What kind of problems are we seeing right now? We're seeing boys, actual males with no apparent role model whatsoever, claiming to be girls and then going out and participating in girls' sports and they're winning. There are physical attributes that are associated with the male with the male human being. Whether you want them to be there or not is irrelevant. They're there. If you are a male, a guy who's gone through puberty, your muscles are going to, they're going to develop more, oftentimes stronger than a female's muscles. Same with the tendons and all the other things. You can go and you can change a lot of things, but you can't change that. There's just some things that you just can't change. You can mess around and take all the hormones and all the treatment and change stuff all you desire, but a woman's muscles and a man's muscles develop differently. So it's just that's just facts of life. Also, one of the other things we have going on right now is we've got people that are coming up with some really strange and crazy ideas, and they're running in mobs and gangs, and there's nobody standing up for what used to be the law of the land. Again, once upon a time, when men were men, then a man would pass along his knowledge and education, showing younger men, hey, this is how you go through life. This is how you treat a woman. When you say you're going to do something, you do it. You shake somebody's hand and you agree to do something, you don't mess around, you go ahead and you do it. Well, unfortunately, it seems like that stuff is all gone. So, are there any real men left? Or am I a dying breed? Yes, I classify myself as a real man. Because, I'm going to stand up for the rule of law. I have an opinion. It may not be a good opinion. Like I said before, everybody knows opinions are like armpits. Everybody has a couple, and usually they stink. There's a lot of facts that back up some of the opinions that I have. Until next time, bye.